You guys, you know what, I never go a day, basically, without thinking about those guys from 1775 and how basically they really lost their lives and gave up everything really for nothing for we to be deceived and we have allowed the encroachment of our rights. Everything they fought for, we have given away. They fought for liberty. They chose death over enslavement, basically. They gave up their lives. They truly did. And me personally, I feel like they did it for nothing. And the reason why I feel that way is because, I mean, if you just sit back and you watch what they fought against and a new idea that they spoke out loud against, meaning that they spoke out loud against, meaning they fought. They took liberty over life and life comforts. Think about that. They took liberty over life. Can you imagine you leaving your home and saying, this is what I believe in. If I return, I return. If I do, good for me. I'll be free. But can you imagine you leaving your lifestyle, your comfort, to fight for something that really the outcome would have been unknown? Really, just think about this. Really, the odds were against you. You're going against the world's most powerful army. The sun never set on the British Empire. Think about it. So if the sun never set on the British Empire, they had troops coming in from everywhere. We already know about they had the Prussians, aka the Germans, fighting for them as mercenaries as well. But those guys, they chose liberty over their lives. They gave up their lives so the future could have freedom. For the future can have liberty. For you won't be subjugated by a king. It's the reason why they did that. They got tired of the abuses. They saw for what it was. You guys, I want you to think about this. Just think about it just a little bit. Think about it. I want you to think about how there's no difference between what we have now and monarchy. You know, y'all guys know me. I love to watch monarch movies, meaning things that have kings and queens in it and, things like that. So, like different movies like that. Because I like to dissect movies now because I understand a lot more things now. I can dissect movies and see and understand what the people were really going through. I can pick up the little nuances when it comes to things now. Back then, before I was awake, I could never pick up. I thought it was just entertainment. Now I watch things more of a breakdown situation. I break it down. I try to understand it. And I was watching Vikings, man. I love Vikings. I ain't gonna lie to you. I love it to death. But I was watching Vikings and I saw, and it just popped in my mind. I saw King Edward. I said, man, he has guards around him just like the president does. The president has a motorcade. When he's out, he has guards. He has Secret Service all around him. There was no difference between the president having Secret Service and a motorcade with him than the king back then had his armed troops or soldiers and a motorcade of horses with him. Well, not motor, but a biological, organic motorcade with him, aka the horse. So I'm looking down like, man, there's no difference. There is no difference between that. Think about it, you guys. I want you to think about it. We really haven't came out of monarchism because, you know, the king does less work, makes more money. Politicians do less work, make more money. The lords and the dukes ruled over lands, ruled over this, ruled over that. Your governor, your mayor, or the lords and the dukes rule over the land that you think that you own. Just think about it. We haven't moved out of monarchy. So those guys, they gave their lives for nothing. To me, that's just how I feel, me personally. I feel like that personally because everything that they have fought for, it has been repackaged and given to us in a different manner, but it's the same thing. You want to have a house, you want to have land, pay a tax. You want to live on this land? That's the king's land. You got to pay a tax to the king. That's no different, you guys. You want to fish? That's the king's water. Pay a tax. You want to fish these days? Oh, where's your fishing license? You want to hunt? That's the king's land. You got to pay a tax. What's the difference? What is the difference? There's no difference. Those guys chose liberty over their lives. Those guys left their farm, they left their comfort, they left everything to give us this freedom and liberty that they knew we deserved. They knew the injustice of government. Just think about it. If you ever go back and you read these writings, they knew the injustice of government. Sorry, you guys, I had to do videos in my car now instead of being outside because the wind is blowing a lot. And yesterday it was raining as well, but the wind is blowing so much you just can't do nothing. But those guys, they gave their lives for liberty and freedom. It was freedom and liberty over their lives. They left their farms, they left their family. I mean, man, Samuel Whittemore. He was 80 years old, in his 80s. Trying to see if I can remember this. He was in his 80s, you guys. Fought the British tooth and nails. They surrounded him. They chopped him up. I mean, they did a lot of things to him, but he still survived. He was in his 80s. Let's check out Samuel Whittemore if you can. They haven't scrubbed it. You guys, it's really liberty over our lives. It's liberty over our lives. They gave up everything. What are you willing to give up? What are you willing to give up? Because the bottom line is, when you look at it, it's like they have done a great brainwashing job on people. A great brainwashing job on people. Just think about it, man. People actually think they live in the world's freest country. But you have somebody who say they have authority over you. How's their freedom? What are you willing to give up? Do you choose liberty over your life? Or do you choose the comforts of this tyranny? Just food for thought.